Hello everyone, and welcome to the Elementary Math Tutor. Today we're going to be adding whole numbers together. We're going to be adding multi-digit whole numbers together. And before we begin, it's important to remember that you make sure your numbers are all lined up properly. For example, we have 328, 147, and 89 here to add together. And I want to make sure that the 8, 7, and 9 are lined up first. And then you make sure you have your 2, 4, and your 8 lined up properly. And then finally, your 3 and your 1. Sometimes it's not all lined up for you. So before you add any numbers, especially multi-digit numbers, make sure they're lined up properly. Okay, now with that being said, let's begin adding. But before we do, some students have difficulty adding numbers. So I want to show you a quick strategy that you can use to add numbers if you don't know how to add these in your head. For example, I'm just going to take 8 and 7 first. One strategy you can use is called tally marks. You can make tally marks. So I can make 8 tally marks right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then make 7 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I can make 9 more as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And what you're going to do, if you cannot add these in your head, you can count your tally marks. Okay? So when I count these tally marks together, I come up with the number 24. So that's a strategy you can use if you have difficulty adding numbers in your head. I'm just going to continue as if you can add these numbers in your head. So we know 8 plus 7 is 15, 15 plus 9 is 24. I'm going to put the 4 underneath and then carry the 2. Make sure you carry that 2. And then I'm going to start with a number that I carried and add the next column. So we have 2 plus 2 is 4, 4 plus 4 is 8, and 8 plus 8 is 16. So I'm going to write the 6 here and carry the 1. Okay. And then I'm going to start adding with the third column, starting at the very top. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. So when I add 328 plus 147 plus 89, my sum is 564. Now let's move on to another example. Now with this example, I'd also like to show you another strategy you could use to make it easier to add multi-digit whole numbers. So I want to look at the 2, the 4, and the 1. The 2 and the 4 and the 1, if you know your place value, you'll know that these are in the hundreds place. So that means the 2 is worth 200, the 4 is worth 400, and that 1 is worth 100. And what I can do is add them together and then move on to the tens place next. So let me add those together. So we have zeros, 0. 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 700. So that means the 2, the 4, and the 1 are 200 plus 400 plus 100. That adds up to 700. So that column is finished. Let's move on to the tens place. Again, if you know your place value, you know that the 4 is worth 40. You know that the 1 is worth 10, and the other one is also worth 10. So I'm going to add these together next. 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. So that column, when we add them together, they're worth 60. And notice how I cross it off so I don't get confused. Finally, we have the last column over here, the 8, the 2, and the 2. These are all in the ones place. So 8 just equals 8. The 2 equals 2. And the other 2 equals 2. So I'm going to add these together. 8 plus 2 is 10. 10 plus 2 is 12. Now this might make it a little easier to add these numbers if you add them based on their place value first. So let's see, I can line these up. So I'm going to take the 700, and then I'm going to put the 60 underneath that, and the 12 underneath that, and add these up. See how it looks easier? It doesn't look like I'm going to have to carry any numbers or regroup. So 0 plus 0 plus 2 is 2. 0 plus 6 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. And then bring down the other 7. So it looks like our total number, our sum, is 772. Well, that's going to conclude our lesson for today. I hope to see you next time with your elementary math tutor. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section, and I'll get back to you as quick as I can. Thanks. Bye.